Loneliness doesn't usually look the way people think it does. It doesn't always look like isolation. It doesn't always look like desperation. And it definitely doesn't always look like sadness. For most men, loneliness looks like normal life. You wake up, you go to work, you talk to people, you scroll, you function. And yet, there's a background hum you can't shut off, a low-level sense of disconnection. Not dramatic, not obvious, just this feeling that no one really knows you. And worse, no one really needs you. So you tell yourself it's fine. You're independent. You're self-sufficient. You don't rely on anyone. But slowly, almost invisibly, something starts eroding. Your motivation fades. Your confidence dulls. Your health slips. Your drive weakens. And you don't connect any of it to loneliness. That's what makes it dangerous. Because male loneliness doesn't usually explode. It decays, quietly, patiently, over time. And today, we're going to talk about how and why it does that. Most men don't say, "I'm lonely." They say things like, "I'm just tired. I'm unmotivated lately. I don't feel like myself. I don't really care anymore." Loneliness hides behind those phrases. Because loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's about being unseen. You can be surrounded by people and still feel isolated. You can talk every day and still feel disconnected. Especially as a man. Because many men grow up learning one thing very clearly. Connection is conditional. You're valued for what you provide, what you produce, how useful you are. Not for who you are underneath all that. So you learn to relate through function, not presence. Work friends, surface conversations, jokes, sports, shared activities, but very little real contact. No place to exhale, no place to be unguarded. So loneliness becomes normal. And when something feels normal, you stop questioning it. Historically, men bonded through shared struggle, danger, work, responsibility, risk. Men didn't just talk together, they did things that mattered together. They were needed. Modern life removed most of that. Work is abstract. Community is fragmented. Masculine spaces are disappearing. Everything is individualized. So men are left with independence, but no brotherhood. Autonomy, but no anchoring. And psychologically, that's a problem. Because men don't thrive in isolation. They tolerate it. They adapt to it, but they don't thrive in it. Loneliness doesn't make men cry more. It makes them quieter, more withdrawn, more numb, more apathetic, and eventually, more invisible, even to themselves. Motivation isn't just about discipline. It's about relational energy. When no one depends on you, when no one notices your absence, when no one is impacted by your effort, your nervous system stops producing drive. Why push? Why strive? Why care? Your mind starts asking those questions subconsciously. That's why lonely men often lose ambition, not because they're lazy, but because effort without connection feels pointless. We're wired to move toward people. When there's no one to move toward, motion collapses inward. So men distract themselves. They numb out. They scroll. They binge. They cope. And slowly, motivation drains away. Confidence doesn't grow in a vacuum. It grows through being seen, being tested, being mirrored by others. When you're isolated, you lose feedback. You stop calibrating who you are, so doubt creeps in. Am I enough? Am I behind? Do I even matter? Loneliness amplifies insecurity because there's no relational anchor, no one reflecting your value back to you. So you become overly self-critical, over-analytical, internally hostile. And the longer that goes on, the more confidence erodes. Not loudly, quietly. Loneliness isn't just psychological, it's physiological. Chronic isolation increases stress hormones, inflammation, sleep disruption, immune suppression. Your body reads loneliness as danger, because historically, isolation meant vulnerability. So your system stays on low-grade alert. That constant internal tension wears you down. Energy drops, health declines, recovery slows. And again, you don't blame loneliness, you blame age, stress, life. But connection is not optional for human health. It's biological. Admitting loneliness feels like failure to many men, because men are taught needing people equals weakness. Independence equals strength. So instead of saying, "I'm lonely," men say nothing. They endure. They carry it silently. But silence doesn't make loneliness go away. It lets it sink deeper, and the longer it stays unaddressed, the more it reshapes you. Until one day, you don't recognize yourself anymore. Loneliness isn't asking you to be needy. It's asking you to be connected. To put yourself somewhere you matter, somewhere you're required, somewhere your absence would be noticed. That could be a responsibility, a group, a mission, a shared struggle. Connection doesn't start with vulnerability. It starts with participation, with showing up where something real is happening. Loneliness fades when your life includes people who are affected by you. If you're a man quietly losing motivation, confidence, and energy, don't assume you're broken. Ask a harder question. Who actually knows you? Who would feel your absence? Where are you truly involved? Loneliness doesn't announce itself. It erodes you in silence. And the sooner you recognize it, not as weakness, but as a signal, the sooner you stop the slow damage. Because men don't need endless self-improvement. They need connection with weight. And your nervous system has been waiting for it.